Tonight we have a special reading. I decided I love the games from back in the day, like the 90s, early 2000s. They used to make these game manuals just like this, except, physical. And they were nice and colored and printed with nice paper. Like, they just put the works into the games, and the games, like, they have good writing as well. It's not just about it being a game manual. The writing in this is actually pretty decent from what I've seen. I never actually read the whole thing myself. I skimmed through it before we played our playthrough here on the channel. We played Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. I voice acted both the games. Check out the description below for the for the whole playlist of that series. And tonight we get into Vault Dweller's Survival Guide. Welcome in, everybody. What we got up in here? Howdy. So we got a Fallout stream, just not Fallout London. Yeah, I read that in the starting soon screen. Hey, Coin, did you know you can actually buy Nuka-Cola? Yeah, actually Samuel, moderator Samuel, he's printing out, he got a 3D printer. He's printing out a bunch of Fallout stuff. Yo, Kevin, welcome in. Coine Crew, stand up now, sit your ass back down and relax. Heck yeah. Coin, you want to know what a special game manual was? Look up Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade graphic adventure. I may very well do that. In fact, Faye, come on up in here today and give me a little bit of help. And let me copy and paste what... She's not so sophisticated right now. Her CPU's not advanced enough for me to give her voice notes, dog. So I gotta type it myself. I'm a man of manual labor, just like we're going to read this manual tonight. Don't worry, we're about to get into it. I'm just, we're just starting the stream. Brady guides were fire. I always loved, like, the Pima games, I think it was called. Pima or Prima? Whatever it was. The Brady games, like, all the guides, I always loved them as a kid. And, like, I always loved finding the little secrets. Yo, the starting soon screen was fire. Yo, Joseph, we're getting a little bit of a leakage in here, dog. Who is this? Who's crossing over freaking niches now, huh? Welcome in, welcome in. I wonder if they finna include a manual for GTA 6. Nah. Well, they'll probably have, like, that physical collector's edition or whatever it is. It's gonna be like probably $120 or something, and they'll probably give you a piece of shit in there, But anyway. Oh, thanks, girl. You saw my note? That's good. Who's a good girl? That's you, girl. You actually need the manual, not just for copy protection, but to find which holy grail is the one. I can send it to you via Discord. Yeah, check out the Discord, www.coin.cc/discord. Also the live stream schedule. That's the only graphic I have along with this one right there. Yeah. Anyway, we begin. Don't forget to hydrate. Yeah. Restricted Vault Dweller's Survival Guide. Issued by Vault-Tec Documentation Department, January 2077. Notice, this document contains information affecting the national defense of the United States within the meaning of the new amended Espionage Act 50 U.S.C. 31 and 32. Its transmission or the revelation of its contents in any manner to an unauthorized person is prohibited by law. We breaking the law up in here. Oh, god dang. I wish I wore my cowboy hat. But I didn't wash my hair for a while, so it's real frizzy. Yeah, it's not a vibe. Here we go. Section 1. Welcome to the Vault of the Future. Oh, yeah. It's so beautiful. Gosh darn. Wow. Yeah, with the nukes in the background. For those that don't know, Fallout is one of the best IPs ever made. Check out the Fallout TV series. They're making a season 2 soon. General. Welcome to Vault 13, the latest in a series of public defense works from Vault-Tec, your contractor of choice when it comes to the best in nuclear shelters. Vault-Tec, America's final word in homes. This document, VTB-001, the Vault Dweller's Survival Guide, is for the events following a worldwide nuclear war. In the case of a limited-scale nuclear war or other world-ending catastrophe, please refer to the appropriate documentation. See also pages 1 to 8. Grail Diary transmitted via Discord. Black Hat, heck yeah. Gotcha, Black Hat. Copy that, boy. Ironic, I'm washing my hair right now. Yeah, you in the shower, man. Yeah, what you doing? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's good. You wash your ass too, man. Wash it, please. You can save it to the end if you want. End of world cause, document number and title. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna read everything word for word when it's like lists like this. You can just look at it. Yeah, you can see it. And here's a little what's this called? Scotch tape with a note. It's pasted over the text in this document. Don't let what could have happened bother you. We have had enough problems to deal with in here. And now. In the here and now. Oh, right. I get it now. Overseer. The Vault series of survival shelters are designed from the ground up to provide the best chance for a good life following nuclear Armageddon. It is the duty of every American citizen to learn and use the skills necessary for a comfortable Vault life. The best place to start is with a description of your new home. Important Vault statistics. We live in Vault 13 when you play this video game. This is a Fallout 1 freaking guide. There's a lot of pages. We're probably not even going to finish reading the whole thing tonight. Anyway, maybe. Who knows? Starting construction date was August 2063. They finished it pretty quickly. That's interesting, huh? This is a 2077 document right here. Ending construction date, yeah, 2069. Yeah, they finished that crap real quick. There's 1,000 occupants capacity. Total duration is 10 years. Number of living quarters, 100. Hot bunking required if at maximum capacity. Yeah, hot bunking. Ooh, it would be hot. You just all sweaty up on somebody else because you can't freaking have any room. You're underground in a vault. That seems terrible. I mean, like, dang. Wow. Door thickness is 4 yards of steel. Earth coverage. Is this the first Coine podcast? This is basically like a podcast at this point. You can listen to this. Maybe I'll even put it in a podcast. What's it called? Playlist on YouTube. Check out all the other freaking playlists on my channel. For those that don't know, I'm Coine. I stream a whole bunch of story-driven and open-world games here on the channel. I've never read a freaking game manual on a live stream, but I'm going to. Okay, any of this other stuff interesting? Think Machine is the computer control system. Geothermal primary power supply. Complete construction equipment. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to read all of it, just not like lists and stuff. You know, I don't like listicles and such. Nuclear blast effects. Vault 13 is designed to provide protection from the effects of a nuclear blast. To better understand the protection provided, we have included a section from the High Energy Weapons FAQ that explains how a nuclear blast causes damage. The first thing a bomb victim experiences is the intense flux of photons from the blast, which releases 70 to 80% of the bomb's energy. The effects go up to third-degree thermal burns and are not a pretty sight. Initial deaths are due to this effect. Yes, and hit the thumbs up button indeed if you like games like Fallout 1. It's amazing. Like, even if you don't want to play this game, you don't want to read this manual, just watch me play the game, because it's freaking dope. It's amazing. I remember one of the Disney's Tower High Rides had a promotional website that had a fake book about the stats of the Hollywood Tower Hotel. So theme parks can do manuals too. Yeah, I like that. I like writing stuff. Where was I? The next phenomenon is the supersonic blast front. You see it before you hear it. The pressure front has an effect of blowing away anything in its path. After the front comes the overpressure phase. It would feel like being underwater a few hundred meters. At a few thousand meters under the sea, pressurized hulls explode. The pressure gradually dies off and there is a negative overpressure phase with a reversed blast wind. This reversal is due to the air rushing back to fill the void left by the explosion. The air gradually returns to normal atmospheric pressure. At this stage, fires caused by electrical destruction and ignited debris turn the place into a firestorm. Then come the middle term effects such as keloid formation and retinal blastoma. Genetic or hereditary damage can appear up to 40 years after initial irradiation. Yeah, you just got a bunch of irradiated people in this series too. It's amazing, like with the ghouls and everything. Man, that's such a dope series. Bethesda was smart to buy this series because they didn't. Excuse me. They did not initially make the series. It was made by Interplay back in 1997, Fallout 1, and then in 1998 they made Fallout 2, and they made some choices in that game I didn't really like as much, like the freaking talking Deathclaw. Like, don't make these animals talk, my guy. Don't do that shit. Stop it. You already got aliens, man, and the aliens are cool. We continue. BDSG Restricted VT B00113. Atmospheric effects of blasts. The mushroom cloud. Look at this detail. Like, this is for a video game. They're talking about all this irradiation and freaking mushroom clouds and crap. God dang, I love it. Speaking of Bethesda and Indiana Jones, have you ever considered streaming? Yeah, I want to, but I want it to be on a big old steeple sale. Once it's on that sale, I'll play it. The mushroom cloud. The heat from fusion and fission instantaneously raises the surrounding air from 10 million degrees Celsius. This superheated air plasma gives off so much light that it looks brighter than the sun and is visible hundreds of kilometers km away. The resultant fireball quickly expands. It is made up of hot air and hence rises at a rate of a few hundred meters per second. After a minute or so, the fireball has risen to a few kilometers and has cooled off to the extent that it no longer radiates. When streaming The Great Circle, please wear your cowboy hat. Yeah, I gotta. That's for sure. I heard the first 3D Indiana Jones game was pretty bad even for the time it was released. But you want an Indiana Jones game to play? I'd play the Lego version, believe it or not, it's pretty good. Now, I don't believe that I would love to play Lego games, but I do believe that they're probably made well. I just don't like the graphics. Like, which is funny, because like I usually don't care about graphics, but when it comes to like Lego and Minecraft, I don't know, man. Like, I'd rather see something aesthetic, you know? Like, to me, like, Lego's not aesthetic, especially the video game. The nuclear winter is coming. Okay, where am I at? The surrounding cooler air exerts some drag on this rising air, which slows down the outer edges of the cloud. The unimpeded inner portion rises a bit quicker than the outer edges. A vacuum effect occurs when the outer portion occupies the vacuum left by the higher inner portion. The result is a smoke ring. The inner material gradually expands out into a mushroom cloud due to convection. Ooh, I love to use me a little bit of confection up in here, I ain't gonna lie. It's the old school Lego game where the characters still mumble instead of talk. That are the gems. Interesting. Lego Star Wars, boo. Batman, boo. Indiana Jones, boo. If it has Lego in it, boo. Where am I at? Yes. The inner material gradually expands out into a mushroom cloud due to convection. If the explosion is on the ground, dirt and radioactive debris get sucked up the stem, which sits below the fireball. Collisions and ionization of the cloud particles result in the lightning bolts flickering to the ground. Initially, the cloud is orange-red due to a chemical reaction when the air is heated. When the cloud cools to air temperature, the water vapor starts to condense. The cloud turns from red to white. In the final stages, the cloud can get about 100 kilometers across and 40 kilometers high for a megaton class explosion. If you see the flash, duck and cover. What the heck is that gonna do, dog? You're dead. You're gonna get irradiated and everything anyway. It's like, why? You might as well embrace the whole thing smacking you, you know? You're gonna die if you got a blast that close to you like that. No way. If you see the flash, duck and cover. Electromagnetic pulse. EMP. A nuclear explosion gives off radiation at all wavelengths of light. Some is in the radio/radar portion of the spectrum, the EMP effect. The EMP effect increases the higher you go into the atmosphere. Higher altitude explosions can knock out electronics by inducing a current surge in closed-circuit metallic objects, electronics, power lines, phone lines, TV, radio, etc. The damage range can be over 1,000 kilometers. Overview of immediate effects. The three categories of immediate effects are blast, thermal radiation, heat, and prompt ionizing or nuclear radiation. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Frickin' bomb. Just bombing on them bitches, boy. God dang. Oh my god. Their relative importance varies with the yield of the bomb. At low yields, all three can be significant sources of injury. With an explosive yield of about 2.5 kilotons KT, the three effects are roughly equal. All are capable of inflicting fatal injuries at a range of 1 kilometer. Well, that's good information, actually. Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe you should duck and cover sometimes. The fraction of a bomb's yield emitted as thermal radiation, blast, and ionizing radiation is essentially constant for all yields. But the way the different forms of energy interact with the air and target vary dramatically. Air is essentially transparent to thermal radiation. The thermal radiation affects exposed surfaces, producing damage by rapid heating. A bomb that is 100 times larger can produce equal thermal radiation intensities over areas 100 times larger. The area of an imaginary sphere centered on the explosion increases with the square of the radius. Thus, the destructive radius increases with the square root of the yield. This is the familiar inverse square law of electromagnetic radiation. Actually, the rate of increase is somewhat less, partly due to the fact that larger bombs emit heat more slowly, which reduces the damage produced by each calorie of heat. It is important to note that the area subjected to damage by thermal radiation increases almost linearly with yield. Man, oh no, I need to stop messing up like that. That's so amateur, dog. Oh my god. Getting a bit warm in here though. I gotta take this off. Blast effect is a volume effect. The blast wave deposits energy, the material it passes through, including air. When the blast wave passes through solid material, the energy left behind causes damage. When it passes through air, it simply grows weaker. The more matter the energy travels through, the smaller the effect. The amount of matter increases with the volume of imaginary sphere centered on the explosion. Blast effects thus scale with the inverse cube law, which relates radius to volume. The intensity of nuclear radiation decreases with the inverse square law like thermal radiation. However, nuclear radiation is also strongly absorbed by the air it travels through, which causes the intensity to drop off much more rapidly. You look at this wasteland, looks like chaos, but there's always somebody behind the wheel. That's a good one. Welcome in, Agent Smith. Good to see you. I like deep stuff like that, like war. War never changes. That's simple, but it's deep. Just think about it. You know? You don't even have to think about it, but if you do, it's real deep. These scaling laws show that the effects of thermal radiation grow rapidly with yield relative to blast, while those of radiation rapidly decline. In a smaller nuclear bomb yield approximately 15 kilotons, casualties, including fatalities, would be seen from all three causes. Burns, including those caused from an ensuing firestorm, would be the most prevalent injury. 2/3 of those would die the first day, would be burn victims, and occur at the greatest range. Blast and burn injuries would be found in 60 to 70% of all survivors. People close enough to suffer significant radiation illness would be well inside the lethal effects radius for the blast and flash burns. As a result, only 30% of injured survivors would show radiation illness. Many of those people would be sheltered from burns and blast and thus escape the main effects. Even so, most victims with radiation illness would also have blast injuries or burns as well. Oh boy. But are those in control really able to predict everything, Agent Smith, or are they merely managing to mitigate some of the chaos of the wasteland? Wait till they figure out nuclear fission on a big scale, we're all fucked. I mean, if all time is now, we've already been fucked, brother. Where was I at now? Here? Yes. With yields in the range of hundreds of kilotons, or great typical for strategic warheads, immediate radiation injury becomes insignificant. Dangerous radiation levels only exist to or so close to the explosion that surviving the blast is impossible. Maybe I should just read slower if I'm going to keep messing up, huh? On the other hand, fatal burns can be inflicted well beyond the range of substantial blast damage. A 20 megaton bomb can cause potentially fatal third-degree burns at a range of 40 kilometers, where the blast can do little more than break windows and cause superficial cuts. A convenient rule of thumb for estimating the short-term fatalities from all causes due to a nuclear attack is to count everyone inside the 5 psi blast overpressure contour around the hypocenter as a fatality. In reality, substantial numbers of people inside the contour will survive and substantial numbers outside the contour will die, but the assumption is that these two groups will be roughly equal in size and balance out. Balance, as everything should be. This completely ignores any of the possible fallout effects. Wow, this is so detailed. This is a freaking game manual. This is a video game manual. My God, I think I said that already a few times. Don't forget to hydrate. Overview of delayed effects. Radioactive contamination. The chief delayed effect is the creation of huge amounts of radioactive material with long lifetimes, half-lives ranging from days to millennia. The primary source of these products is the debris left from fission reactions. A potentially significant secondary source is neutron capture by non-radioactive isotopes, both within the bomb and in the outside environment. When atoms fission, they split in some 40 different ways, producing a mix of about 80 different isotypes. These isotypes vary widely in this instability. Some are completely stable, while others undergo radioactive decay with half-lives of fractions of a second. The decaying isotopes may themselves form stable or unstable daughter isotopes. Oh, they bringing out the girls now finally, huh? God dang, we got a bunch of dicks around here. Wow. The mixture thus quickly becomes even more complex. Some 300 different isotopes of 36 elements have been identified in fission products. Short-lived isotopes release their decay energy rapidly, creating intense radiation fields that also decline quickly. Long-lived isotopes release energy over long periods of time, creating radiation that is much less intense but much more persistent. Fission products thus initially have a very high level of radiation that declines quickly, but as the intensity of radiation drops, so does the rate of decline. Alcohol has been proven to stifle the radiation poisoning, but you have to be super drunk. Yeah, you just get, I'm getting fucking fucked before I die. I mean, that's probably how you figure that stuff out, right? It's not science, it's just trial and error. I mean, that's the thing with these vaults in these games. The vaults, a lot of these vaults are experiments. They're all like, not all of them. I don't think all of them were, but many of the vaults were like experimental vaults. They put people in the vaults to experiment on them and to, yeah. Yo, Park, welcome back. I've been great. And now I'm even better. We got old friends around and we're reading a Fallout 1 manual, which is also old. How about that? Synchronicities of the universe. Where was I at? A useful rule of thumb is the rule of sevens. This rule states that for every sevenfold increase in time following a fission detonation starting at or after 1 hour, the radiation intensity decreases by a factor of 10. Thus, after 7 hours, the residual fission radioactivity declines 90% to 1/10 its level of 1 hour. After 7 times 7 hours, 49 hours, approximately 2 days, the level drops again by 90%. After 7 times 2 days, 2 weeks, it drops a further 90%, and so on for 14 weeks. The rule is accurate to 25% for the first 2 weeks and is accurate to a factor of 2 for the next 6 months. After 6 months, the rate of decline becomes much more rapid. The rule of sevens corresponds to an approximate T. There's so much maths in here, dog. Reading the Fallout manual? Yeah. Neat, I gotta say. Fallout 1 was unique until Microsoft and Amazon butchered them. People think it was Bethesda, but they forget without Bethesda, we wouldn't have Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, true. Fallout 3, in fact, a lot of people tend to say is their favorite one, even over New Vegas. Personally, I disagree. I think New Vegas... Well, I mean, I don't disagree that that's their opinion. I disagree with Fallout New Vegas not being better than 3. It's better because the writing is better, and it was made by Obsidian, who also develops today The Outer Worlds, not to be confused with The Outer Wilds. Okay. Dash 1.2 scaling relationship. These radioactive products are most hazardous when they settle to the ground as fallout. The rate at which fallout settles depends very strongly on the altitude at which the explosion occurs, and to a lesser extent on the size of the explosion. If the explosion is a true air burst, the fireball does not touch the ground. When the vaporized radioactive products cool enough to condense and solidify, they will do so to form microscopic particles. These particles are mostly lifted high into the atmosphere by the rising fireball, although significant amounts are deposited in the lower atmosphere. By mixing that occurs. Nah, is that a typo? Nah, dog. Did we find our first typo? I'm gonna have to reread this. What was your favorite Fallout radio station, everybody? I don't know what mine was, to be honest. But anything, I guess, with like jazzy music, maybe. No, I mean, I like everything. But I guess probably the jazzy stuff. Yeah. Because the times. Them were the times. So what is this saying? Although significant amounts are deposited in the lower atmosphere, by mixing that occurs due. Oh, no, it's not. It's just weirdly, it's not. It's right. I mean, it's fine. It's just like it broke my brain. This actually makes sense. For Fallout London, mine is Broadcast Ministry, Fallout 3 Enclave Radio, Fallout 4 Classical Radio. Yeah, that jazz was fire. Yeah, man. God dang. I wanted to play some of the Fallout music. I mean, we're playing Fallout music right now in the background, but I meant like the radio music would have been dope to play. But it's copyright. Okay, let me continue. I was supposed to like not stop reading in the middle of paragraphs like that, because then I get freaking lost. Oh, right, because I was talking about this line right there. Talking about the fallout, Chernobyl meltdown is more deadly than nukes since most of the radiation on a nuke disperse over time, but meltdowns stay forever. Yeah. And like and even the less thought of stuff like DuPont poisoning the entire ocean, trying to make the shit they make, even though they make a lot of good stuff, or they have. I think they renamed their company or something, which is understandable. If it has any Michael Jackson or Phil Collins in the game, that's my favorite, but I've only played Fallout for a good 15 minutes before getting disinterested. I think it was Fallout 76. Yeah, you chose like literally the worst of the Fallouts. Literally the worst of the Fallouts you decided to play. Interesting. I mean, that game's not even that bad. The larger the explosion, the higher and faster the fallout is lofted, and the smaller the proportion that is deposited in the lower atmosphere. For explosions with yields of 100 kilotons or less, the fireball does not rise above the troposphere. where precipitation occurs. All of this fallout will thus be brought to the ground by weather processes within months, at most, usually much faster. In the megaton range, the fireball rises so high that it enters the stratosphere. The stratosphere is dry, and no weather processes exist there to bring fallout down quickly. Small fallout particles will descend over a period of months or years. Such long-delayed fallout has lost most of its hazard by the time it comes down, and will be distributed on a global scale. As yields above 100 kilotons progressively more and more of the total fallout is injected into the stratosphere. Dang. Talking about Chernobyl, weird stuff has happened throughout its years. It seems certain species of animal, plants, and insects are evolving to endure or adapt from radiation. Evolution is wild. Yeah, that's the thing. I love it. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was 16 at the time. You were 16? What? At what time? Gosh darn. Trophosphere. I played Chinatown Wars religiously though, yeah. Yeah, it's more of an ADHD game for sure. Chinatown Wars, like you always constantly doing everything. Check out the playlist on the channel. It's dope. Fallout, or Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, not Fallout. There are rumors that Chernobyl has mutant boars. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't doubt much these days. I believe everything now. I believe everything. An explosion closer to the ground, close enough for the fireball to touch, sucks large amounts of dirt into the fireball. The dirt usually does not vaporize, and if it does, there is so much of it that it forms large particles. The radioactive isotopes are deposited on soil particles, which can fall quickly to Earth. Fallout is deposited over a time span of minutes to days, creating downwind contamination both nearby and thousands of kilometers away. The most intense radiation is created by nearby fallout because it is more densely deposited and because short-lived isotopes haven't decayed yet. Weather conditions can affect this considerably, of course. In particular, rainfall can rain out fallout to create a very intense localized concentrations. Both external exposure to penetrating radiation and internal exposure, ingestion of radioactive material, pose serious health risks. Imagine what the wolves look like in Chernobyl. Probably like dilapidated hoes, I guess. This is my headcanon, but I think Fallout is set in an entire universe where the only American continent is similar to our world, but the rest of the world, geography is different. That would be interesting. They got Chinamen and such. I wonder what China looks like in the world then. Geographically. And Russians? They have Russians, I think. Do they have Russians in Fallout? I forget. I know they have Chinamen. Because you murder them. I remember that part. Explosions close to the ground that do not touch it can still generate substantial hazards immediately below the burst point by neutron activation. Neutrons absorbed by the soil can generate considerable radiation for several hours. The Megaton-class weapons have been largely retired, being replaced with much smaller yield warheads. The yield of a modern strategic warhead is, with few exceptions, now typically in the range of 200 to 700 kilotons. Wow. Us brought something funny that is true, but instead of wolves are dogs, where Chernobyl dogs evolve having thick fur to avoid radiation. Interesting, but if you cause them, you die because they got high radiation. Yo, Stinky Muniz, welcome, OW Stream. I like that name. What is that? I like that name for some reason. I'm a little bit immature, if you can tell. Don't forget to hydrate as well, because if you read a lot and you talk a lot, gosh darn, you gotta hydrate a lot. I guess I read aloud, right? Not if you're just reading, but you should be hydrating anyway. You know, I don't think I have to explain this. I'm over-explaining myself right now. Recent work with sophisticated climate models has shown that this reduction in yield results in a much larger proportion of the fallout being deposited in the lower atmosphere, and a much faster and more intense deposition? Hold on. What? Yeah, we draw each other, you know. We draw each other's energies. Yo, Hugh, welcome in. It's been a while, huh? We had a nuclear fallout about 4 months ago, around the time I got COVID. Dang, so maybe you got irradiated COVID. Dangerous, you got that freaking crazy COVID. You're gonna die soon. Oh yeah, I did miss the stream of you playing any of the Stalker series. No, I haven't played Stalker, but interestingly that you bring it up, we've just had some cross-contamination of niches, and I was in another chat where somebody was bringing up, or several people were bringing up Stalker. Maybe I'll play it, the series or whatever. I've never, I don't know what it's really about, but I hear it's good. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dangerous, man. Rest in peace, brother. You was one of my favorite ones, I promise you was. The reduction in aggregate strategic arsenal yield that occurred when high-yield weapons were retired in favor of more numerous lower-yield weapons has actually increased the fallout risk. Wow, look, we got pictures finally. Ooh. Because I'm reading fast as well, because I figure like I have to go a little bit faster if I want to get through a lot of it. But at the same time, the faster I read, the more I mess up, I think. I think that's true. Additional publications. The Vault Dweller's Survival Guide, Abridged Edition. Zoom in on that. How nice is this? Oh, he got his butt in my face, dog. That was unintentional. We got aliens on the way. We good. The aliens will save us for sure, man. Just don't probe my butt now. Check out the Fallout or the South Park playlists on the channel. Man, when I was a kid, I was great at games, but now every time I play, I get clapped. Yeah, I don't play online games so much anymore. I used to all the time, like Call of Duty and crap, especially like on the Xbox when I was in high school. Man, that would have been one of the first Call of Duties though back in those days. I recommend Stalker, but play the classic one, cause the trilogy got a remastered version, but the remastered version is more buggy. Right, okay. The classic one. Cooking rats, I don't think I could stomach that. I think if you grew up in this universe, you would. Yo, Ivan, welcome in. One of the OGs from when the channel first started over 2 years ago. Is this the Fallout Bible? Basically, it's the manual to survive. Only special people have access to this. It's restricted, as you can see. There's this word right here. Restricted. Yeah, see? I'm just giving everybody the goods. Indeed, Faye. I just mentioned the playlist as well. Thanks, girl. Okay, here we go. Let me continue. Anything? Okay, yeah. You can use your eyes and look at that. Cool, cool, cool. Section 2, Simulation. Ooh, look at this. I mean, this is 1997, man. This is cool. This is impressive to me. I was freaking 7 years old when they had this. You know, I was like 6 when they were writing this up. I don't know, there's something special about that. Randomly. SimTech Operations. Let me zoom out a bit. I prefer it at 125. For reading. There we go. The Vault-Tec Research Group has determined that after a long period of security, many Vault Dwellers will feel uncomfortable with the idea of returning to the outside world. The SimTech 5000 will provide a safe and reassuring return to life out on the outside world. This chapter will give you a brief walkthrough of the operation of the SimTech 5000. Nice. Fallout could have had more post-apocalyptic life, stuff like Metro, but sadly is more bringing the past and creating something new. Wasteland, though, they did it right. Yeah, I do love the Wasteland. It's amazing. There's a lot they did right, for sure. And there's a lot they can do better. Experienced Vault Dwellers may want to start with character creation. Here's where, like, look how much we read. And this is basically where it starts to become, like, the actual guide. They gave us a bunch of freaking science, man. I was... God dang. Okay. Blah blah. For beginning Vault Dwellers, this tutorial will prepare you for the outside world. After starting the Fallout process on your terminal, click New Game from the main menu. The character creation screen will appear. For now, keep the personnel record of Max Stone displayed and select Take. This will choose Max as your character, because the reason why you need a manual as well for these games is because they're so old. Like, the mechanics are so freaking old and jank. Like, you kind of have to... Well, I never read this, but I did cheat to get through the game. So, Maybe I should have read this, right? Beforehand. Because the NCR, Legion, and Mr. House are basically, I'm going to bring the past and rebuild the world, while Wasteland did it in a more immersive and realistic way, a post-apocalyptic society. Yeah, a bunch of different factions and branches and tribalism. That's what I like. That's why I like the Fallout series more than like the Elder Scrolls series. It's just it's like the vibe. The simulation will start now. After a briefing by the Vault Overseer as to your immediate task, you will appear outside the Vault Blast door. You start off at Vault 13, yes. Starting out right outside the Vault door. Click the Inventory button to open your inventory and equip yourself. Oh yeah, equip yourself. Yeah. They use good lingo. Your first action should be to equip yourself with armament. All Vault-Tec prepared vaults come with the latest in offensive and defensive equipment. You will be supplied with the most lethal self-protective devices available. Click the inventory button on the interface bar at the bottom of the screen. The hand cursor allows you to move items around in your inventory. Click and drag the pistol to item slot 1. Release the mouse button. You're now armed. Dang. Step by step, Doc. When Zelda The Ocarina of Time came out, the guide was like 400 pages long and was needed. Yeah, this one's 120. Old RPGs existed in a time where you kind of were forced to talk about being stuck, just how to progress with your friends and community. So in a way, online guides are no better. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 100%. That was kind of a community thing as well. Like whenever you had friends that played the same game, you get to just get together. You have to get together physically because like you don't got no goddamn phones in those times, dog. I mean, I know people had the big old brick phones and stuff, but I was a kid. I didn't have one of those. I hate ads, and I won't be eating Subway again. You got a Subway ad? Yeah, Coine Crew members get a little bit less ads. Okay, where am I? Click it. Okay. Yeah. The hex cursor is a movement cursor. Move it to where you want to walk and left click to start walking there. Yeah, it's a clicking point. It's a clicking point. You gotta remember that. It's an old game. For now, move your mouse into the left cursor is adjacent to the computer next to the door. Left click once to walk there. As you are walking, you can move the different cursor to another location. If you want to interrupt your current walk, simply left click again. Yeah, interrupt your walk. Yeah, you gotta know these things, man. One time on a Twitch stream, I had 8 ads in a row every 10 minutes. Dang, it got so bad, the host got ticked off and switched off ads for the rest of the night. Wow, that's wild. I think Twitch is having those issues these days now, right? Everybody's U-bots are not working. That's what happens when you're trying to make it look like you got a bunch of freaking watches, dog. Who cares how many people are watching you, man? I started with 0. Sometimes we have 550. It doesn't matter, dog. Who cares? Chill, you know? Everybody on Twitch view-botting. Like, what? Why, dog? Why are you doing that? Like, I think they even pay money to do it. Like, how would you not? You would have to pay money because you would have to be using different servers and stuff. You know? Dang. It's really weird. Freaking weirdos. But a lot of people did it. Like to get big. Back in the day. Okay. Let me read this. Because I feel like you can follow along with this if I wasn't just rambling in between every sentence. It was especially egregious when I was the VIP in a Jackbox game and I didn't hear the host telling me to push the start game button due to the ads. Yeah, that's the Twitch experience for you. I mean... Okay, here we go. Once you are standing next to the computer, right-click once. This will change the cursor from the movement cursor to the command cursor. The command cursor is how you interact with items/objects in the environment and other people. Right-click once on the computer. This will make your character use the computer. Now look at the display window again in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, trying the computer again. Yeah. Their algorithm, they don't have an algorithm, I don't think, on Twitch for ads and stuff. They just spam them. They spam them. On YouTube, yeah, you might get like some ads, but they take into account how many you've got like just previously. So you usually shouldn't get that many on YouTube, I don't think, compared to Twitch. Left click on your character a couple of times. Notice that it rotates you around. Your facing generally does not matter, as your character will turn to face whatever direction is important when needed. That's important to know. I used to think, because I didn't read this when I first played, check out the playlist in the description below. I didn't know that like the way your character faces doesn't matter. But yeah, it tells you it doesn't matter. And it does matter if you go on down there and slap the like button. Just slap it. Abuse it. It's the only time you should be abusing anything. Stop abusing women out there, by the way. You know, just as an example, okay? Dang. For now, right-click again to change the cursor back to the movement cursor. Walk to the right side of the large vault door. Yeah, that way. That's right. It's the same even if you have you use a language that you right to left. It's still the right side. Just to let you know. Oh yeah, have you played Atomic Hearts? No, I've never played it. The best part is RPGs game. Play the Fallout Classic devs wanted to add in Fallout. Oh, nice. Right. Interesting. Atomic RPG. Oh, okay. Atomic RPG. Smack the frick out of that button. And subscribe for more abuse. Now, change to the command cursor. Left click on the computer. If you are standing too far away from an object, you will automatically walk or run there when you attempt to use the object. Walk south, moving further into the cave. Watch out for vermin. In these games, south is down. So, you just go down. Pro tip. I knew it. If you move too close to a rat, it will decide to attack you. After it moves up to you and bites you, combat will start. Yeah, it's like a well, no, that's not a Pokemon game. That's not right, actually. Is this a new game? No. Welcome back, Sage. This is an old game from 1997, and this is the manual for the game. And most of the interesting stuff, I feel, was the stuff we just read with all the nuclear radiation and all the science and such. Gosh darn, that stuff was such a hoot and a holler. Gosh darn. Now we're on the more technical aspect of it, where this is probably stuff I should have learned before playing the game, because there's a lot of times where like I was genuinely confused on like how the heck you do anything, dog. I don't know, because you have a 120-page manual you gotta read, dog. Okay, like you have to, like you gotta read this. You gotta read this if you want to enjoy yourself playing the game, or you can just watch my playthrough in the description below instead. The reason I say Atom RPG is what Interplay wanted for Fallout is because in the manual they say the game there would be survival elements, but they couldn't add. Yeah, right. Survival would be nice. Yeah, this is the survival guide for Fallout 1. The survival mechanic would be cool. Where was I? I should probably stop doing what I said I was gonna stop doing earlier and finish a paragraph before I lost my freaking spot. Okay, I'm just gonna start right here. If you miss it, or it takes the bullet but doesn't die, click on that big red button that is attached to the button with the pistol. It should change the active item from the pistol to the brass knuckles. Left click on brass knuckles to attack with them. Target the rat again. You can continue to attack until you run out of action points. The action points are very important. The number of action points you have remaining is displayed by the row of green lights above your weapon. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I'm trying to explain the manual explaining itself already. I need to stop that. Stop interjecting. Just read. The cost to use a weapon is displayed in the lower left side of the weapon button. When you have just a few action points remaining, end your turn by clicking on the End Turn button. Everyone else involved in combat will get a chance to act, and then it will be your turn again. When your turn starts, your action points are restored. White Sands, New Mexico, yeah. Is that why the sand's white or what? I think that's like 2 hours away from where I live. That's why Fallout Classic is more RPG than survival. Yeah, true. Yeah. I think the game would have been so hardcore if it was a survival game. Like, if anybody tried to play it as a survival game today, you'd be dead. Die, man. I'm sorry. Impossible. Okay, do I need to read this? What is this? Oh yeah, this is the combat button. The end turn button will be your current turn. The end combat button will attempt to stop the combat. If there are hostile creatures still involved, the fight will continue. Yeah, you can try to end it, but you can't just run away. You gotta face your fears. You know, you gotta do it. If the rat dies, combat will end. If the rat lives after your attacks, it will get another chance to attack you. You know it is the rat's turn when the lights on the interface bar turn from green to red. Don't worry, you will get a turn soon enough. Also, this game is not colorblind friendly. I just want to probably mention that. I don't think you can tell between like the green and the red on there, if depending on the type of color blindness you have. It's just gonna look the same. It's gonna look the same to your eyes, dog. I promise. Damn, how'd you die in Fallout? Ran out of water and drank the funny green. Yeah, I mean, like, there's so many ways to die. Project Zomboid, the tagline is basically, this is how you die, because you will die in that game. You have to die. I feel like in this game, like, if it was a survival game, yeah, the moment you step out is probably a whole experience. You're just gonna run into the freaking, I don't know, like, there's so much that can happen in these games, and this isn't like an old game too, like, and there's so much that can happen. If the rat starts to run away, you can end combat by clicking on the end combat button. Once the rat is dead, continue south through the caverns. Hold down the shift key and click on a hex to run instead of walking. If you encounter rats, use a variety of weapons to attack them. You will notice that some weapons are easier or better to use. Due to the darkness of the caves, it is difficult to hit creatures at a distance. To increase the amount of light and make it easier to see the rats, I didn't even know this was a thing. I forgot this was a thing or something, because I guess it's been about a year since I played this. You might want to turn to use one of your flares. Open your inventory, right-click the change from the hand cursor to the inventory command cursor. Left-click and hold on the flare. A list of options. Oh, I did use flares a lot, actually. I remember now. A list of options will appear. From the top, the list of icons are examine, use, drop, and cancel. Move the mouse down to the use action icon. Release the mouse button. The flare has now been activated. To keep it separate from the unactivated flare, it is moved to the bottom of your inventory list. Scroll down to the bottom of the list. Left-click and hold on the activated flare. Select the drop icon, action icon. The lit flare will be dropped to the ground. Any attacks within the zone of light are easier than in the pure darkness of the cave. Experiment. Yeah, that helps a lot, actually. Yeah, random encounters, like, all the randomization kind of stuff is kind of where it's at, I feel, when it comes to, like, just having a variety of experiences. Because, like, if you have just preset enemies, preset this, you know, this person's always here, that person's always there, it obviously can still be an amazing game, but, like, you get way less varied experiences. You might get hurt. If so, you need to heal yourself. Open your inventory and use a stim pack. Stim packs will heal your current hit points, but never over your maximum hit points. Another method of healing is to rest. Press Z on the keyboard. This will display the Pip-Boy clock. Oh yeah, no frickin' controllers, boy. You gotta use your mouse and keyboard like a man, okay? Okay. Click on the until healed line in that display. You will spend time resting all of your hit points until all of your hit points are restored. Another way to access the clock is to click on the pip button on the interface, and then click on the alarm clock icon in the upper left hand corner of the Pip-Boy. There are usually a couple of different ways of performing the major functions in the game. True. When you get into another combat, select Pistol. Right-click once on the button. This will display the targeted attack symbol in the lower right-hand corner of the weapon button. When you make attacks now, you will make a targeted attack. This will let you attack specific locations on your target. Clicking on a target with the target cursor will display a new window. Select the location you want to attack by clicking on the name of the location. Pip pip cheerio. Some of the areas of a rat are harder to hit. Of course. What you mean, some of the areas of the rat are harder to hit, dog? You could have used a different example up in here, dog. I get it. It's a tutorial because you're basically starting at the beginning of the game and they're telling you to go south into this dark cave and there's rats in there. But still, dog, like, this is a weird example because, like, of course, some parts of a rat are hard to hit. A rat itself is hard to hit, my guy. What you try? Like, you can't aim at different parts of a rat, in my opinion. Like, you gotta hit the whole thing. Something neat I found out. The bar models, the Polish and the Belgium, look a lot like assault rifle from Fallout Classic. Oh, I don't like automatics too much personally. I prefer, single. Or like a 6-shooter would be nice. I love me a 6-shooter. Sometimes you gotta just have 5 up in the chamber, those, because in the barrel rather, not the chamber, because like if you have 6 in there, you might shoot your penis off or some such. Aren't you marksman? No, not anymore. I was an expert marksman back in my day, but not anymore, man. That's something you gotta keep up. Although I would probably be pretty decent, but you gotta keep training. If you want to be, if you want to keep up with that crap. When you are tired of killing rats, oh, and I didn't read this whole, some areas of a rat are harder to hit, yeah. However, the chance of you doing more damage or some other effect is increased by making a targeted attack. When you are tired of killing rats, you can try sneaking past them. A good sneak will let you avoid the rats. Press the skill dex button on the interface bar. Click on the sneak skill. You will see sneak printed above the interface bar. Just as long as you are sneaking, the rats will have a more difficult time seeing you. If the rat does see you, they will start combat as usual. There is no combat penalty for trying to sneak and getting caught at it. Do not run. If you run, you cannot sneak anymore. Sneak around the rats carefully. Wow. Heck yeah. Damn, I hate it when I accidentally shoot my penis off. Yeah, gosh darn. God dang, my penis is uglier now. Yeah, I keep losing my place. When you're tired of killing rats, yeah, blah, 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 don't run. Yeah, right. I actually finished all that. There are other skills on the skill dex that can be used. The first aid and doctor skills allow you to heal yourself and other characters in the game. All the skills except sneak require that you give a target to use the skill on. If you are hurt, open the skill dex and select first aid. The targeting cursor will turn yellow. See, colorblind folk, you ain't gonna know. Gosh darn, it probably ain't gonna even change shades or nothing. Turn yellow. What you talking about yellow? How about you like... Dang, people were colorblind in the 90s, man. I promise you, Click on your character. Depending on how good of a medic you are, the better your first aid skill, the better you are at performing the skill. You will heal some hit point damage or do nothing. You will or not. To do or to do not. I don't know what I'm saying now. I'm just saying random shit. I feel like the East Coast should have had more Cold War guns, while the West Coast... That's actually... Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I like that line of thinking. The best revolver is the 500 Nitro. Kicks like a mule, so hold on. Dang, they must love... Are your ads in English? Probably, right? You getting English speaking ads or what? I'm curious about that. When you have explored enough of these caverns, go to the south and then to the west. The auto map, which can be accessed by clicking the map button or by pressing the tab key, will show your location in the caves. You are looking for a long tunnel in the southwest corner of the caverns. When you reach the edge of the tunnel, you will see a natural light. Walk into the light. Go toward the light, my brother. Go toward it. You're gonna die, I got you. I told you, man. My brain's freaking crazy. I don't know what I'm even saying anymore. Oh, I can pop that up right here. Let's bring that up there. Oh yeah. Don't forget to hydrate. I'm also gonna get more hype by getting more caffeine in my body. Let me just grab something real quick. My eyes are Korean. And when they show me a new menu, which is a fried chicken, but inside the chicken there's melted cheese. Oh dang. This menu feels more like America. That's for me. Yeah, that sounds like it's for me, brother. Are they trying to send the ads from you into me? Because now I'm getting advertisements. I'll be right back. But that sounds good, dog. Don't forget to hydrate, but with water preferably. This isn't that unhealthy. It's Celsius, live fit. So it's actually probably not too bad. As we continue. Oh my god, I can't use my nails to open this, man. I feel like a girl. There we go. Chicken cordon bleu. Oui, baguette. Okay, click on the Vault 15 button on the right-hand side of the screen. This will start walking you to your first destination. We're finally off! It takes a while to get through these things in this game because you got to learn all the mechanics like that. And we're heading west as well. What the heck is that, man? That's Patrick, dog. What? The world is dark to start. As you explore, areas will be revealed. A green circle on the world map denotes an important area. Vault 13 has a green circle since it is so important. You should stop and explore any other important areas that you come across. Be careful exploring. If you spend too much time looking for new areas, you could find that the vault has run out of water. Yep, since your mission is to save the vault from this terrible end, you should do everything you can to avoid it. And it even says, good luck. But genuine question for everyone. Would you eat crispy, juicy chicken with just melted cheese inside? Sure, it would be delicious, but damn, those calories would be hard to lose. Yeah, I know, right? The answer is yes, I would, but I would just do a lot of walking and exercising to lose it. Section 3. Vault personnel. The juicy stuff, all the characters. Those are basically the loud, loose girls of my generation. Patrick? Patrick's not a girl, dog. I mean, he could be. I mean, you know, I'm friendly. You said you can't open your food/drink because of your nails, so I got a GIF. Oh, of a hot Cheeto girl. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense in that context. Yeah, I guess. But I mean, my sister was a hot Cheeto girl, I would say, but she didn't have long nails. I mean, you know, I don't know what a hot Cheeto girl is, to be honest. I would fast all day to prepare. Yeah, same. Fasting's healthy. Like, fasting is one of the best things you can do in life, in my opinion. In terms of health. And I mean, your health is like your wealth, right? Oh, sounds corny, but I guess it's true. The key to a successful reintroduction of civilization following a massive scale nuclear war is people. Here at Vault-Tec, we are working to ensure that your fellow man and woman, Patrick, is up to the task of bringing America back from the dead. Characters are people in the game world. A player character represents you in the game world. We will sometimes refer to a player character as personnel. The terms personnel and player character are interchangeable. That's interesting. Other types of characters are called non-player characters, NPCs. Most people in the world are NPCs, by the way. You cannot be one, though. Trust me. So that you won't confuse them with you. NPCs can be other vault dwellers, people from the outside world, or even mutants. Talking about food, Fallout could have had a potential to have cool-looking post-apocalyptic food in the early stages. Look awful, but the skillfully made look delicious despite having colors it shouldn't. The hot Cheeto girl, when I was in high school, usually gave us blue balls. Get out of here, dog. And for those wondering, high school for me was nearly 6 years ago. Well, I don't give a shit how long ago it was. You talking about some freaking middle school girl or high school girl. Like, like you're bringing a high school girl into the present. It don't matter if it was 6 years ago. Like you're bringing a high school girl into the present and you're talking about her giving you blue balls, dog. Don't do that. No, man. Please don't do that. you know? I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it's kind of weird when you think about it. Okay, where am I at now? Yeah, I already read this. Okay. Oh, is the music on? Oh, we gotta play the music. I didn't realize we've been going so long the music stopped. There we go. Back. Okay. I never said I got blue balls. What? The hot Cheeto girls, when I was in high school, usually gave us blue balls. I said, meaning the boys I knew. I mean, you said us, brother. You said, brother. Oh, wrong one. Brother, come on now. Imagine eating a delicious looking steak, but the meat is pink, but inside is purple. That sounds like yam. I really like purple yam kind of foods. Those are delicious. A lot of Asian countries use purple yam for a lot of things. I love it. It's amazing. Standard personnel records. Fallout comes equipped with 3 pre-made characters for your use and enjoyment. These personnel, oh, that's why they call them personnel. Right, that makes sense. Because these, yeah, I get it, are prepared for most conditions in the outside world. I created my own character. I didn't choose one of these freaking, look at it, he's freaking, no offense, but you ugly boy. God dang, look at his face. Look at that thing. Why would you play as that guy? I mean, aw, he looks kind of sad. Yeah. Asian food is good, but prepared to nuke the toilet. Yeah, I got bidets installed. No worries, man. You know, if you got a bidet, you ain't gotta worry at all, because your booty's always gonna be clean. Max. Stone to his friends, Maxwell is the largest person currently living in the vault. He is known for his physical strength and stamina. He would make the ideal volunteer due to his tremendous size and strength. It is unfortunate that his intelligence was affected after birth, when the labor bot dropped him on his head. He doesn't care that he might have to leave the vault. Aw, dang. I actually kind of like him now. You're still ugly, but I like you, man. Don't forget to subscribe for more. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. One of my favorite Halle Berry movies was the one with Billy Bob Thornton, with the sex scene in it when I was young. I think that might have been one of the reasons, but the movie was actually good. Like, the movie's actually good, too. Not just about the, you know, boys being boys thing. Natalia. Natalia is the grandchild of a Russian diplomat who worked at the Soviet consulate in Los Angeles. She is a talented acrobat with excellent coordination and reflexes. She is extremely intelligent and resourceful. Her only difficulty as a young child was understanding personal property laws. Natalia is very interested in leaving the vault and curious to explore the outside world. That's cool. If I ever play this game again, I'll probably just be her. She sounds cool. Freaking Russian spy? God dang. So cool. Yeah, he was he's dropped on his head by the bot, which is ironic because the bots are made to help us not do stuff like that, like drop things on their heads and such. But it dropped them. It's interesting. Russians are considered citizens in the US now, which implies China took over Russia somehow. What? Oh, in this lore? Which implies China took over Russia somehow. Probably the alternate history in Fallout is that Sino-Russo-Chinese War went south and Russia got annexed by China. Right. Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking of the real world when I was first reading your message. I was like, what are you talking about? I wish you hadn't mentioned Monsters Balls. I just found out Heath Ledger and Diddy was in it. What? Oh, I mentioned that? Oh, right. Is that the movie? Is that what it's called? No way. It's not called that. The one I'm thinking of? They've probably been in multiple movies together. I don't think that's the movie I'm thinking of. Albert. Albert is a charismatic leader of a small vocal minority of the Vault population that is considering life on the outside world. Dedicated to the role of negotiator, he is often able to communicate efficiently between parties. His professed occupation is closest to what was once known as a lawyer. Albert is often able to convince others that his ideas are correct. Yeah, I liked, excuse me. I like the speech and stuff in the games, like going speech routes. Real world history is even more bizarre and dark. Yeah, that's true. Like how a Syrian bear joined the Polish military as an artillery unit. Yeah, the Polish, you know, they had to endure a lot, man. It's like, brother, bear. They might as well just use all the resources they got. They were getting shat on a lot throughout history. We appreciate the fact that you are reading the Vault Dweller's Survival Guide, but would prefer that you use the Fallout interface. So we have implemented a special way of viewing these personnel. From the character creation screen, select Modify. You can now examine these characters in detail, actually changing their statistics. But more importantly, you can view every item in their personnel record using the enclosed information card in the lower right-hand corner. Heath knocks the back off some hooker in that movie. Heath? Oh, Heath? Who's... I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. I don't think I've ever seen whatever Monster's Dick is, man. I don't know what that is. Am I thinking of the right movie? Are you all leading me astray? Creating a new personnel record. For maximum enjoyment, a character creation system has been implemented. This will allow you to make a character of your choice. The following instructions will guide you through the character creation process. It's the right one? I don't know, man. I don't know, dog. I think we're having a Mandela effect here. You think Mandela's dead? Or what? The best thing about the story is that while the military couldn't allow pets, they just enlisted the bear and called him Private Wojak. They gaslit the fuck out of their high commanders. That sounds crazy. Your character is a representative of you in the game world. Your character will follow your commands and perform actions as you require. It is up to you to make the character that best suits you and suits your style of play. Fortunately, with the Fallout Survival Kit, your happiness is assured. Vault-Tec guarantees it. Look at this. I see that it's a little tiny. Look at that tiny. I don't even know if you can see it. They have a guarantee, but there's a stipulation to it. Whichever you wear, whenever you wear that denim jacket, I know it's going to be a cozy stream. Yeah, I had to take it off, though, because it's getting a bit hot. Now it's actually getting a little bit chilly, which is interesting. I guess maybe the AC kicked on. Okay. Let me read that stipulation. Guarantee not available in all states, or after any of the following: flooding, drought, famine, nuclear war, or other acts of God. So there's no guarantee. We will often refer to you and your character as the same person. That is the beauty of a role-playing game. Alright, you gotta remember, this is I keep almost saying the 70s because it's 1997. 97. This was the 90s. Not, you know, like, games were kind of popular, but not really back then, right? They were definitely niche, especially RPGs. And they kind of have to explain this stuff to people. It's like, you're role-playing, dog. Get into gear, okay? That's how you enjoy these games more, is by role-playing. But you can't play this game like it's Call of Duty, right? Because you ain't role-playing Call of Duty. Fallout lore before the Resource War has so much mystery, because we don't know what history led to Fallout, because the Wasteland series is also set in an alternate world where the USSR never fall. Yeah. They were badass, huh? Freaking badasses. Dang. I love alternate history type stuff. That's why I like these Fallout games a little bit more than the Elder Scrolls, because like the high fantasy stuff is really cool. I like high fantasy, but I think I prefer more like the grittiness of Fallout, and just like how There's similar. You can draw more similarities from our real world into these. Oh yes, back when RPGs were about role playing. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Not about just like logging in to some service and then buying freaking gems or some shit so you can put a pretty pink chest plate on your character. What the heck is that, man? Like, god dang. How about you make a video game and not a freaking... I don't know, man. I just played a lot of MMOs in my day. And to me, it's like, I don't like that crap. It's so whack. I mean, I like, you know, I like cosmetics and stuff, but not like the way they do it. It's freaking whack. That is the beauty of a role-playing game. You are your character. Your actions as the player will control the actions and consequences of that little character on the screen. Obviously, we don't condone some of the actions performed in the game as appropriate or even legal actions in the real world. Don't confuse the two. Oh man. Elder Scrolls did better in the fantasy than other fantasy media from both East and West because wood elves eat meat and cannibalize because they are against hurting/eating plants. Yeah, that's why I don't like wood elves. I think wood elves are the wackest of the whack. It's like you're eating your freaking brother over a plant. I don't I don't know, man. Nah, dog, that's not for me. I'd rather just be like a high elf instead. High elves are at least like they have a right to be pompous because they're kind of badass in a certain way. Where am I at? Characters are defined by various statistics and skills. During the character creation stage, you will adjust the primary statistics, and in turn, the statistics will determine your skills. If you want to see what a particular statistic or skill does, click on the item name with your mouse pointer, and the card in the lower right-hand corner of the screen will display the pertinent information. I always like when there's like artwork and stuff. The screenshots are good too. I mean, I thought this was going to be in color for some reason. I mentioned that at the very beginning, but I guess it's not. That's why being friends with Elder Scrolls Wood Elf is more dangerous than being friends with any Wood Elf from your fantasy media. Because if you pass away, the Elder Scrolls Wood Elves will eat your corpse. Yeah, that's true. They'll have more of a reason to betray their brethren, right? It's like, oh, I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. I don't know what their accents are like, but I'm so hungry. And they just like to murder their brother and they eat him. Like, but like, if you're not a cannibal, you will never do that, right? Boom. I should be a philosopher or something. To make your own character, do the following. Spend character points on statistics. Select 3 tag skills. Choose up to 2 traits. Select your age. Select your sex. Name your character, and optional, if necessary, select any options. What? Optionally select options. That's interesting. Yo, Bright Eye, welcome back. We almost got 50 up in here now, huh? Wood elves are like cats now. Khajiit are cats now, right? I like Khajiits. I used to not like them that much, but then I started playing Skyrim, live streaming as a Khajiit, and it's just like, it's just fun. Always test the air for radiologicals and viruses. A containment suit is your best friend. Yeah, very nice. Options are optional, gosh darn. I love the redundancy in there, you know? Sometimes redundancy is needed. If you're backing up a bunch of data, you need redundancy, right? Redundancy is not always a bad thing. Cats will eat their dead owners is what... Oh, right. right, yeah. If they're starving. I always go sniper in both Fallout Classic and Atom RPG because it gives you more action points, right? Yeah, because having one action point is a very quick way to soft lock yourself. I do like that kind of build. I feel like when I live stream, most of my builds are more like charismatic gunslingers. I love it. It's like, yeehaw, you gosh darn some bitch. You want to die today? Well, you ain't got no goddamn choice, bitch. Boom, you dead. It's just so fun. Step 1. Spend character points on statistics. All characters have 7 primary statistics: strength, raw physical strength, the ability to lift weights, have stronger punches, carry more equipment, and use larger weapons. Stronger characters will be able to lug around more items, do more damage in combat, and so on. If you want to play big physical character, choose high strength. Doc Holliday build. Heck yeah. Oh, bring it up, Faye. Pull it up, girl. There you go. It's so small. I need to fix that. Perception. The ability to notice things. A combination of your senses, including touch, sight, taste, smell, and hearing. Perception affects your ranged weapon distances, small details that you have a chance to notice, and other sense-related tasks. Perceptive characters will get more information about the world. If you want to play a character that can shoot guns at targets really far away, buy up your perception. Who doesn't love to be a cowboy? That's what Red Dead Redemption is popular and beloved by many. Sometimes something the Outer Worlds should have been, but they seem to focus on parody/comedy that ain't funny. Yeah. I mean, I've never played that game, so I don't know. But Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the best for sure. 100%. 100%. Okay, I read perception. Yeah, endurance. The ability to withstand punishment and physical exertion. A high endurance will let you survive and carry on where other weaker people would have to stop. I love that. I freaking love that line. Yeah, I love that. Let's quote that. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. There you go. A high endurance will let you survive and carry on where other, weaker people would have to stop. I don't know why I like that so much. That's great. It affects your hit points and your resistances. A character with high endurance will be able to fight longer and be less likely to die in combat. Charisma, a combination of looks and charm. Oh, charisma has looks? That's interesting. Huh. I mean, I get it, I guess. The higher your charisma, the better you are able to communicate with other people. Highly charismatic characters are more likely to be able to get their way without resorting to violence, and to be able to get better deals in trading. Characters who like to talk to people should buy up their charisma. Because imagine if we had a game where you could have been a space cowboy, where you choose to be a bounty hunter, sheriff, or outlaw with many space frontier guns from high-tech ballistic revolver. Yo, I mean, that's what Starfield was supposed to be. Starfield was supposed to be that. And it's a Bethesda game. I wanted to love Starfield. I put 150 hours into Starfield on this channel. It's on the freaking playlist section. And I did like it at first. Like, my thoughts were genuine when I was first playing through the first playthrough, but then you start to see all the dang flaws, and it's just, man, Bethesda really dropped the ball. I mostly blame Todd Howard for not retiring sooner, though. A car that yields the most fuel wins the endurance race. Is that right? That yields the most fuel? But what if there's a car that carries less fuel but is more fuel efficient? What if that you know? I don't know, man. Intelligence. Oh, we're on intelligence now, huh? Check out the live stream schedule right there on the website, www.coin.cc/schedule. In a couple days, we have some YouTube mobile gaming coming up, which I've never really done before, but it's a thing that I'm going to do because for reasons I can't say. But I'm going to do it. It's going to be fun. Both Bethesda and Obsidian fumbled so hard. Yeah. Well, hopefully after GTA 6 we get Red Dead Redemption 3. That would be amazing. I love that. Agility. Fuel efficiency in the Fallout universe. Oh, I didn't read intelligence. Your mental strength and abilities. The higher your intelligence, the more skills you will excel in and the more options you will have in dialogue. A high intelligence is important to any character. Characters who want lots of choices in dialogue should pick a higher intelligence statistic. Yeah, so I guess, like in this game, charisma and intelligence, if you really want to like be non-violent You know, like, yeah, it makes sense. You can actually be like fairly non-violent in this game, I think. I don't think you can play the whole game without any violence, technically, but I don't know. Well, yeah, like the monsters and stuff, you can't. Well, maybe you can. No, you can pacify them. Or I don't know, but anyway, agility, your speed and dexterity, physical manipulation ability. Your agility will affect many skills requiring fine coordination. It will adjust many combat-related statistics. Agility is important to any type of character. Combat and thief characters should have a higher agility than diplomatic or scientific characters. Intelligence seems to be more for those who go for energy weapon runs, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Like the tech weapons and stuff. I forgot that's a thing. Because I mentioned it earlier, but I cheated in this game because it was so hard. Like, and I just like... Plus, I like to get through games when I'm live streaming. Like, I want the story and the character and the dialogue more so than anything else, which is why I kind of cheated to get through it. But yeah, that's why I didn't learn some of this. I kind of remember that during the playthrough, though, like not being able to use the accuracy of the laser weapon because I was so dumb. I was a dumb boy. What made Fallout 2 in New Vegas so magical wasn't Obsidian, it was team members like Josh Sawyer and Joss Avalon. By Outer Worlds, they only had Fergus, and he's always been a CEO, not a dev. I know I probably pronounced that guy's name wrong, but I love the way I pronounced it. Luck. Luck is the odd statistic. It is a combination of fate, karma, and, in general, how the universe views you. Oh, I love that. Luck will modify many things. All characters will benefit from high luck and will suffer a little more with a lower luck. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I love that one right there. Heck yeah. All primary statistics have value. The values range from 1, the lowest, to 10, the highest, and 5 is the average. All characters start with average values in all statistics. Fortunately, you get 5 characters points to spend on your statistics to improve them. You can spend 1 character point on any 5 statistics to put all character points into 1 or any combination you wish. Yeah, and there's the figure here. The location of the primary statistics on a character, also highly important to role-playing games, of course, is being special or some such. But yeah, different builds just make for like way different gameplay sequences and such. I agree with Stinky. Obsidian was held together by talented people just for the office worker who gains power to take all the credit and kick out the ones who did all the work. Yeah, that does happen a lot in those kind of environments, right? That's why sometimes you gotta build such a presence that nobody can deny you, right? Like, I did that shit and everybody knows, dog. So what, you know? But that's not everybody's in that kind of place. Everyone's special. Yeah, everyone's special in my opinion. You know, I ain't no freaking, what's it called? I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But like, I think everybody's special. I think it's true. To help you gauge the value of a statistic, we devised a simple system of naming each value. Here's the list. From worst to best. 1, very bad. 2, bad. 3, poor. 4, fair. 5, average. 6, good. 7, very good. 8, great. 9, excellent. 10, heroic. What? I don't like that. Heroic? Like you just jump from excellent to heroic? I feel like it should have been great, and 9 should have been greater, and then 10 should have been excellent. You know? I don't know. Hope that helps, Overseer. Yeah, because this was a post-it note. They taped it on there. The Overseer wrote that crap. I don't like this Overseer. If you want more character points, you can reduce a statistic below 5, gaining 1 point for every point you lower the statistic. No statistic can drop below 1. You can lower any statistic or combination of statistics. Your friends at Voltec do not suggest lowering any statistic below 4, but the option is there for you. If you lower your intelligence below 4, for example, your dialogue will be severely restricted. See page 4 to 29. You must, however, spend all of your character points before you complete your character. Party time! Excellent! I watched Wayne's World so much when I was a kid. I just got mad about golf. I don't even like golfing. But maybe you will eventually if you get enough ads injected into your brain. When you change your primary statistics, notice that your derived statistics and skills change. The derived statistics and skills are based in part on the values of the primary statistics. You cannot adjust them directly, see tag skills page 3 to 10. If you want more hit points, you have to spend more character points on endurance. Your statistics define you. If you have a high strength, high agility, low intelligence, and low charisma, you are most likely not going to impress someone with your savior faire. How do you pronounce that? Is that French? Because of that ads, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, you got that goldfish brain. When I'm streaming, I got that too. It's called streamer brain though in this context, because I'm the one streaming. Where'd I go? Shit. Oh no. Oh, right there. Yeah, I don't know this word. I legit don't know what the heck that word is. But it's like, you know, blah, blah, blah at a dance. But that table you're about to drop on their head will get their attention. My intelligence stat might be low. Your statistics will, generally, not improve directly through experience or gameplay. You should plan on seeing the same statistics throughout the course of your adventures and plan accordingly. Yeah. Suave faire. Right. Suave faire. All right. My name is spelled the French way. Coine. With an E at the end. I'm a little bit French myself. Is that a French word? Oh, I remember now. RimWorld is a hardcore colony sim that the motto is losing is fun because it was inspired by Dwarf Fortress. That game makes you see people as resources. Oh yeah, I've heard of it. I've never played Dwarf Fortress. Derive statistics. In order to make the best possible decision regarding your character choice, we have developed an easy-to-use method of determining your derived statistics. We call this method the look it up below method, and we think it works pretty darn well. Interesting. Look it up below, yo. Check it out. It's the manual. Look it up below. Here's the derived statistics. I like it. See, like the writing is good in these too. Hit points. Your hit points determine how much damage you can take before you succumb to the long dirt nap. See, I like that. The long dirt nap. The more hit points you have, the longer you can survive outside. The less hit points you have, the more healing you will need to do. The number of hit points you have will grow when your character earns experience and advances in levels. The number of hit points are displayed as maximum/current. The other way around. Current/maximum. If you ever get to 1/30 hit points, for example, you need some serious medical attention. And soon, brother. Starting hit points are equal to 15 plus 2 times endurance plus strength. Average character will have 30 hit points. Yeah, you gotta do quick math up in this thing too. It's crazy. RimWorld is also got many nicknames, from War Crime Simulator to Canadian Simulator and Ordnance/Drug Cartel Simulator. RimWorld. Yeah. I'm pretty also been called other things based on that name, you know. Don't forget to hydrate. Armor class. Your natural armor class is how good you are at avoiding being hit in combat. The higher your armor class statistic, the worse your opponent's to hit number. The worse your opponent's to hit number. Your natural armor class may be augmented and improved by wearing armor. See page 5-12 and the sample armors in the equipment list. For more information about armors and armor class, see those pages. Starting armor class is equal to your agility. Average characters will have an armor class of 5. Action points. The number of action points your character has will determine how many different actions you can take during a combat turn. Every action will have a different action point cost, which is subtracted by your total action points. When you run out of action points, you cannot perform another maneuver until the next combat turn. Action points are only used during combat. Action points are not cumulative, but instead roll into armor class for a on a one-on-one basis. 1-for-1 basis. If you have 4 action points remaining when you end your turn in combat, you will get a +4 bonus to your armor class until the start of your next turn. Gosh darn. There's a huge yeah. Yeah, I'd be drinking. I'd be staying hydrated. 100%. Yeah, max hydration maxing, I think the kids call it, right? You gotta hydrate max, boy. Oh god, I felt that in my stomach. Okay. Oh man, that sounded... Hold on, pause. Wait. Anyway, carry weight. The total amount of equipment that you can lug around the post-nuclear world is represented by your carry weight. The higher your carry weight, the more equipment you can carry. Thanks, game. You can carry a total number of equipment in pounds equal to your carry weight and no more. What's interesting is that they like to use like kilometers and all the metrics and such in this game, but then we come on down here and they talking about stuff in pounds. What you talking about? You was up in there using metric system, now you up and down in here using the US customary system. Well, gosh darn, I'm confused, right? I mean, I'm not. Initial level. Starting carry weight is equal to 25 pounds plus your strength times 25 pounds. Average character will have 150 pounds. That's a lot. 100? No, I mean, it's a role. I mean, it's a game, but like 150 pounds, dog. Imagine being a woman lugging 150 pounds around. Like, you ain't even 150 pounds yourself, girl. Like, how are you gonna do that? No way. No way. And it's an average thing? That's average. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, no other way to put it. Talking about the water is very available, apparently, but the reason they tend to go back to alcohol until boiling water is because someone or something kept contaminating the water. Right. Like, back in the day, yeah, they used to drink like that low percentage alcohol because, like, whatever, like lagers or whatever it's called, because, the water was bad, but the alcohol killed all the germs and shit. Yeah, it's understandable. I would probably do that too if I lived in dank-ass dirty times where they couldn't filtrate water. Like, filter water, you know? Like, man, yeah, give me the alcohol, dog, it's safer. But don't drink, anyway. Melee damage. Your melee damage is the amount of bonus or extra damage you do with unarmed and hand-to-hand weapon damage in combat. Using your fists, a knife... Oh, I have a knife right here, dang. Or a sledgehammer. I don't have a sledgehammer. Oh, this is stuck. Dang. Because I use it as a fruit knife and it's all freaking stuck. What's the average weight for a rucksack in the military? Ain't it like 100 pounds? No. We would ruck with like 40 pounds, I think. Like 40 to 60? I don't remember, honestly. It's been like 15 years. But like 40 to 60 pounds. And even the bigger guys would have the same weight as the smaller people. So... like, it's not that much. Definitely not. I mean, like, if you did ruck marching on your own, a lot of people did. Yeah, like, a lot of people might have gone up to, like, 100 or something, for sure. But, I mean, I never did that shit. No way. Like, 40 pounds is good. 50 or 60, yeah. Like, 60 if you're really conditioned, I would say, is good. Because ancient Rome had aqueducts that helped save and clean water until wars destroy them. Later, pipes, pumps, and wells came, but someone or something kept contaminating the water. Yeah. Did you see Timmy peeing in that thing? Timmy, you're irradiated. You're not supposed to pee in the water. What? Damage resistance. The ability to shrug off some amount of damage in combat is attributed to your damage resistance derived stat. This statistic is a percentage, meaning that it will subtract an amount of damage from every blow based on a percentage of the damage. If your damage resistance is 10% and you take 20 points of damage from a single attack, you will end up taking 18 points of damage after your damage resistance. You will need to equip armor to see your damage resistance increase. Poison initial level. Starting damage resistance is equal to 0%. Oh. So nothing. That's cool. Poison resistance. Getting poisoned is an unfortunate possibility that must be taken into account. Fortunately, most people have a hardy poison resistance compared to the small animals that are the usual prey for most poisonous snakes. Poison resistance is a percentage that will reduce the amount of poison damage you take. Initial level, starting poison resistance is equal to the endurance you have times 5. Average characters will have a 25% poison resistance. I don't know why my pee closed. The only thing I drink is Nuka-Cola, said the Wastelander or Vault Dweller. Yeah, Nuka-Cola is like half radiation, I'm pretty sure. And like people think sugar's bad. How about you try some Nuka-Cola? Radiation resistance, here we go. Look at the universal synchronicities. Radiation is something that any Vault Dweller must be concerned with. While it is normal for a small amount of roentgens, is that, or rads, I don't know how to pronounce that, the actual scientific word, to enter the normal person during the normal year of activity, more if activities include mountain expeditions and or high altitude ballooning. That's also another synchronicity. I live in a city where they do high altitude ballooning every single year. See, now you got me wanting Dr. Pepper. Oh, that sounds mighty gay dangerous. It's okay to be gay though. You know, I ain't got no issue with that. I don't even know why I brought it up, man. I'm sorry. What am I saying? Where am I at? A large amount of rad poisoning is a reason for concern. The average person receives about half to 1 rad a year. Yeah, that's so little compared to like when you be playing like Fallout 4 or something, or even this game. You receive way more than one or half to 1 rad a year. You receive that way more than in one day, I feel. After nuclear fallout, you would expect more. See damage for more information. With any exposure to radiation, your radiation resistance will reduce the total amount of rads you take by its percentage. It is very similar to damage or poison resistance. Boy, now this is such a long manual. We're on page 20, I think this is 28? 29. This is page 29. Wow. Hot Raz. I tried Dr. Pepper. It's actually okay, but funny enough, Coca-Cola is not considered soda and more like Dr. Pepper, because even Dr. Pepper is not considered soda either. What's soda then? I thought those were both sodas. Healing rate. Oh no, sequence. Thus, this statistic will help determine who will go first in combat. Yeah, this is important. Sequence. And in which order people and critters will get to act. This is where I had to like cheese a lot. Like this is important. Sequence in this game. Food laws keep changing. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, like even a tomato is considered a vegetable, legally, but like scientifically, ain't no gosh darn vegetable. The higher the sequence value, the more likely you will act before your opponent. Initial level. Starting sequence is equal to your perception times 2. Average characters will have a 10 sequence. Healing rate. People do not heal wounds at the same rate over the same amount of time. Your healing rate will tell you how fast you can bounce from that near fatal encounter and continue your important work of holding off the end of the world. If you have taken damage, you will get a number of hit points back at the end of each day equal to your healing rate. If you rest, you will get a number of hit points back every 6 hours equal to your healing rate. In no case can you get more current hit points than your maximum number of hit points. Initial level. Starting healing rate is equal to about 1/3 of your endurance, with a maximum of 1. Average characters will have a healing rate of 1. Critical chance. Critical hits in combat are special attacks that cause extra damage or some special effect. The chance to cause a critical hit is partially based on this stat. The higher your critical chance, the more likely you are to cause one of these powerful hits. It is expressed in a percentage, adding directly as a bonus to the chance to cause a critical hit. Initial level. Starting critical hit is equal to your luck. Average characters will have a plus 5% critical chance. Talking about tomato, where are potatoes in Fallout? They seem to be a crossbreed between a potato, tomato, and even a plum. Yeah, potatoes. I never really thought too much about it. But I would say, I think a potato was probably more Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably more a tomato. I don't know. Because in my brain, I think I've always thought of them more as potatoes. But when I'm thinking about it now, I feel like they're probably more of a tomato. But maybe, I don't know. That's a hard question. Oh, you got the good questions out here. What if you read this manual tonight and the nuclear war began tomorrow? Well, everybody would have all the secrets to everything. We even know how radiation works because of this manual, which is cool. Step number 2. Select 3 tag skills. Skills are learned abilities. As you gain your experience, your skills will improve, unlike your basic statistics. All skills have a skill level expressed as a percentage. The higher the skill level, the more likely you are to exceed at using that skill. Tag skills define what skills you are especially good at. They are your specializations, if you will. Every new Vault Dweller must select 3 tag skills to specialize in. You cannot leave the character editor without selecting all 3. You will get an immediate 20% in all 3 of your tag skills, but even more importantly, they will grow faster from the experience than a normal skill. You will get twice the improvement when you spend skill points in them. Click on the skill name to display the information card. Click on the small button to the left of the skill name to tag that skill. If you wish to deselect a tag skill, simply select the button again. Tag skills are highlighted in a different color to remind you of their status. Yeah, sorry colorblind people. I'm telling y'all, you can't play this game. I'm sorry. I mean, you can probably, because like, you can intuitively know certain things without color. Anyway. Joke's on you, I save up all this bottle caps for a reason. I will be rich in the apocalypse. Yeah, that's it. There's like a video on YouTube, I feel like it was made not too long ago. It has a bunch of views now about why bottle caps are the currency of the Fallout universe. Maybe I should watch that. I don't even know the answer. I think I used to know the answer, because I used to watch like a bunch of Oxhorn videos, right? They fired the dude who plays Beast Boy on Teen Titans because he has Parkinson's. I think that's called letting him go, right? I don't think you fire somebody for having Parkinson's. I think you let them go because they ain't gonna be able to fulfill the job for you, right? Like, you can't be like, is that what the point you're trying to get at? It's like, oh, he got a disease now, and they fired him over it. But like, nah, like, they're being discriminatory? Nah, he can't do the job, dog. Like, you're Beast Boy. How are you gonna be Beast Boy with Parkinson's? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's sad. It's sad, but sometimes you gotta do different things in life. They put him out to pasture. like, if I couldn't speak, how would I live stream? How would I do this, right? If I lost my voice, and I'm not getting paid by anyone to do this, not necessarily, but let's say I'm getting paid to do this. Just motor movement. Yeah, but man, you seriously don't understand that analogy? You should probably think about it a little bit more. It's pretty easy to get. Anyway, complete skill list. Small guns, big guns, energy weapons, unarmed, melee weapons, and throwing are all combat skills. They govern the use of weapons and attacks in combat. They are also used automatically when you attack an opponent. Just look at the pretty flowers. Yeah, Walking Dead. Yeah, just look at the flowers, girl. It's okay. You ain't gonna look at nothing no more after this. But I mean, he ain't dead. He's got a whole life ahead of him. You just gotta do something else, you know? I mean, he can probably get a different acting job as somebody with Parkinson's. How about that? That'll freaking work. And then you just have a big old Parkinson's thing to let people know what Parkinson's is, right? It'll work out for him. Like, people's gotta stop being big old babies. He definitely can't do his freaking job. He can't be Beast Boy, dog, with Parkinson's. I'm sorry, he can't. Like, that's not being discriminatory. You just can't do the job. If you can't do the freaking job, you can't get hired. Bruce Willis lost his voice and sold his likeness to an AI company. Yeah, but he also lost his freaking brain, didn't he? Like, he's like, something's wrong with him or something. I don't know his story, but I'm pretty sure he has something wrong with his brain. Big guns. Oh, did I read this one? Now, small guns. This skill covers the use of pistols, submachine guns, rifles, and shotguns. The higher your small gun skill, the easier it will be for you to hit your target, and the longer effective range you will have in combat. Initial level. Starting small gun skill is equal to 35% plus 1% times agility. Average characters will have a 40%. Big guns. This is a skill of flamers, miniguns, rocket launchers, and other big support weapons. If it's a large weapon, you can count on big guns being the skill rolled against. Like small guns, the better your skill, the easier it will be to hit your target, and the longer range you can really hit people at. Initial level. Starting big guns is equal to 10% plus 1% times agility. Average characters will have a 15% skill. I feel like people should let go of people who can't perform anymore or passed away, because the reason people avoid remakes to old beloved media is because the fans want the original cast. Yeah, it's a psychological thing. Like, I need to breathe. I feel like I'm not breathing too well when I'm reading this. Don't forget to breathe, like, deeply. But, it's a psychological thing for people to like what they liked in the past, like what they grew up with and what they've learned over time and what they've kind of stuck with. That's kind of just a human condition. That's why people like remakes and remasters and stuff all the time rather than new IPs. I prefer more expansive energy. I prefer new things, even though, like, I mean, I guess maybe it's a little bit ironic because I'm reading a freaking 1997 game manual right now. But I mean, I enjoy old things as well, but I just think, like, we shouldn't always just keep going back to the things we used to like, because you should find things you like more, like in the future, like now and in the future as well. Yeah, it's like fiending for that nostalgia, indeed. And I'm fiending for that water. Energy weapons. The use of energy weapons is not a very common skill in the vault. Energy weapons had just started to come into actual use in warfare when the world blew up. Lasers and plasma weapons are covered by the energy weapons skill. Basically, if it uses an energy cell or power pack and not cartridge ammunition, it falls under this skill. Initial level. Starting energy weapon skill is equal to 10% plus 1% times agility. Average characters will have a 15% skill. And average live streams usually don't have too many likes, but you can change that right now. One shot of it and you're permanently addicted with no cure. Yeah, that's the thing. You got addictive personality too. Heck yeah, look at that. That's Fallout right there. It goes by quick. Unarmed. This is the skill of beating people up with your fists and your feet. I like that. I mentioned feet, dog. That's amazing. The better you are at this skill, the more likely you are going to hit them in combat. At very high skill levels, you can succeed at those targeted shots easier, inflicting terrible damage. Everyone starts with a pretty good unarmed skill, since the basic concept is pretty simple. Bro, I'm sorry, Interplay, but that's not true, dog. This is not true. This is not freaking true right here. Yeah. Everyone starts with a pretty good unarmed skill, since the concept is pretty simple. Nah. No. No, it's not. Just because it seems simple, I would argue that shooting a gun is more simple than freaking unarmed combat, dog. What are you talking about? Shooting a gun is easier than unarmed combat. I promise you. I promise you, dog. I was an expert marksman. Shooting guns easier than unarmed combat. Anybody know how many pages there are? 120, I think. We're on page 31. This is long. At least we got the fuel going. I drink all the Celsius. Okay, initial level for unarmed. Starting unarmed skill is equal to 40% plus 1% times your average agility and strength. Average characters will have a 45% in unarmed combat. Jesus, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You're rebuking Jesus in the name of Jesus? I think that's not right, man. I think you're going to hell now. I'm sorry. We've been doing this for 2 hours. Dang, it's been 2 hours? We got 90 people. That's more than we got for Skyrim. I'm reading a freaking game manual, and we got 90 concurrent over when I was role-playing as a Khajiit. And I'm pretty fun role-playing as a Khajiit, because it's fun. Imagine if Fallout added martial arts moves, but in order to get them is by learning them from expert martial artists. Like if you want to learn Kung Tai Moi, then you must go to Sensei. Yeah, it's like like the Shenmue games. I like the Shenmue games because you get to learn from different masters and stuff, and from the books. I like stuff like that. The voice is a bit annoying when you do the Khajiit voice. Well, your mama is annoying. I'm sorry, mama. You're not. I don't even know you, but you're probably not annoying. Speech. This is the skill of dialogue. The better your speech skill, the more likely you will be able to get your way when talking to people. When there is a chance that the NPC might take your word, believe your lie, or just follow your word, this is the skill that is used. Automatic use. Initial level, starting speech skill is equal to 25% plus 2% times charisma. Average characters will have a 35% skill. Barter. The skill of trading. In the post-nuclear world, currency is not used commonly. Barter will allow you to get more for less when trading equipment, weapons, or other items. A high barter skill will lower the prices you pay for items you purchase and increase the money you get for selling excess equipment. A good barter skill isn't important if you're killing everyone, but it is certainly a valuable skill for the non-berserkers out there. Automatic use. Initial level, starting bartering skill is equal to 20% plus 2 times charisma. Average characters will have a 30% skill. Khajiit voice is on point. Yeah, man, I love doing it. It's fun. Sometimes it sounds Nigerian, but not all the time. Usually not. You know? Note, speech and barter are the same domain of the diplomatic character. Or are the domain of the diplomatic character. Yeah. Gambling. The skill of gambling lets you play games of chance and win more often. We gamble a lot in Shenmue as well, as compared to playing games of chance and losing more often. When the world comes to an end and all that is left is a can of soup, some dweeb will bet it's on a cockroach race. Automatic use. Initial level, starting gambling skill is equal to 20% plus 3% times luck. Average characters will have a 35% skill. Congrats, my student. You have learned the art of dragon, fist of dead. Use it wisely, my student, said Sensei to the player that is about to use it on everyone. I don't know what's happening. Outdoorsman. This is the skill of outdoor living and survival in a hostile environment. Not many people from the vault are skilled in outdoorsman. Automatic use. Oh, see, that makes sense. It's pretty hard to be an outdoorsman, especially like in a post-apocalyptic world. But everybody just being good at unarmed makes no sense to me. I feel like everybody should be shit at unarmed. However, unarmed should level up quickly when you use it. I feel like that should be it. Like, if you utilize unarmed, it should level up fast, but it should start off low. I think that's a better mechanic. If the world comes to an end and there is a can of soup, did the world truly end? Yeah. Well, no. Oh yeah, no. No, it didn't. Not necessarily. Okay, did I read this? Yeah, I read this one. I read the outdoorsman? Yeah. Warning. The following 4 skills are not approved by Vault-Tec. Sneak. The skill of being able to move quietly and out of sight. When you are sneaking and doing it successfully, other people will be less likely to notice you at a distance. If you get too close to a dangerous mutant, no matter how good you are at sneaking, they will notice you. Active use. Use sneak to toggle it on and off. You automatically stop sneaking when you run. While sneaking, you will see this, sneak, in the display just above the interface bar. This doesn't tell you if you are sneaking successfully. The reactions from hostile or inquisitive creatures will tell you that. Your sneak skill is rolled when you start to sneak and every minute after that. Initial level. Starting sneak skill is equal to 25% plus 1% times agility. Average characters will have a 30% sneak. Unarmed could also be ghetto fighting, because it's easy to fight dirty on a survival situation, but they get easily countered by those with better experience of close combat fighting. Yeah, I mean, you should be fighting dirty, 100%. It don't matter the circumstance. Like, I mean, I don't know what dirty fighting means. Like, if you're in a circumstance where you're getting lit up by some guy, or you're about to get lit up by some guy, you got to do everything you can to survive and protect your brain as well, right? Like, you don't want to get concussed. Like, if you can get out of a fight with 0 damage, and we're talking about a post-apocalyptic world, because you shouldn't be fighting in today's world because you're freaking emotional if you do that. But anyway, like, if you're in that situation, yeah, you just do everything you can. Like, freaking gut them in the nuts, you know? I mean, that makes sense. You understand what I say. Lockpick. If you need to open locks with a proper key... if you need to open locks without the proper key, then this is the skill for you. Having an actual lockpick will improve your chances, but it is not necessary. There are 2 types of locks in Fallout: primitive and electronic. Lockpicks work against primitive locks, and electronic lockpicks work on electronic locks. A particular lock may be more difficult to pick than other locks. Active use. Select the target to lockpick. Initial level. Starting lockpick skill is equal to 20% plus 1% times the average of your perception and agility. Average characters will have a 25% skill. There are no rules in non-professional hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love watching MMA and stuff, right? I love combat sports. I love all that, but it's like, that's different. That's like, it's for the art of it and the entertainment. But in a real fight, you're not going to use no freaking art. You're not going to try to be entertaining. You just got to survive. Maybe the devs are saying unarmed combat is easy because dirty fighting would be very common. Yeah, but I feel like, because like they're saying it's easy, but it's like you're fighting like irradiated creatures. I feel like you cannot throw hands with these creatures in an easy manner, no matter, because like all of their parts are hidden, right? A human's parts are all exposed. Everything's weak on a human. But a creature, you're fighting a creature, you're trying to gut that thing, all of its guts are tucked under like some kind of freaking irradiated shell or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I guess if you're fighting other humans, you could say that, but I don't know. I feel like the skill shouldn't be high necessarily if you're fighting other humans, because it doesn't make sense, because then wouldn't that make them also make... Because if they're saying it's basic, that means the other human is also good at it, right? Like, so it doesn't make sense to me that everybody's just good at it unarmed. Never makes sense. Because unarmed should be trained. You gotta be trained for it. You ain't gonna be good at unarmed no matter like how dirty you want to fight. Because somebody that's good at unarmed, that's fighting dirty, is gonna be better than someone that's, you know, like, I don't know, it seems like a simple concept to me. Steal. This is the art of removing things from a person or object without being noticed. Even if you succeed, there's a chance a critter might notice you. Larger objects are more difficult to steal than smaller objects. The more objects you attempt to steal, the more likely you are to be noticed. You cannot steal objects that a person has equipped. If you steal from a person, it might be a good idea to go behind them, so they can't see you as easily. Active use, you will need to pick a target to steal from. Initial level, starting steal skill is equal to 20% plus 1% times agility. The average character will have a 25% steal skill. Ooh. Only Coin did an unarmed playthrough. I did. Oh yeah, man. I've played so many games on this channel. I mentioned it a few times, but 2024, 56 games. 56 games in 2024. That's a lot of games, in my opinion. And it's not like they were all short games. I play a lot of story-driven games. Traps. The skill of disarming bad things that will hurt you. Your perception will find them for you. If you decide to set bad things for other people, like explosives, then this is the skill that is used to set them. A critical failure while setting an explosive will detonate it prematurely. Active use, but sometimes used automatically. You will need to pick a target to attempt the disarming. Initial level, starting traps skill is equal to 20% plus 1% times the average of your perception and agility. Average characters will have a 25% skill. Star of the North Fist. Oh yeah. That used to be like my my primary profile picture is the main character. I used to always have him as my like my profile pictures. It's kind of cool. I like it. First aid, the skill of minor healing. You will be able to cure minor wounds, cuts and bruises with this skill. You can only use it 3 times a day and it takes a little while to work. Active use. Select a target to heal, but this is most likely going to be you. Starting first aid skill is equal to 30%, 1% times the average of your perception plus intelligence. Average characters will have a 35% skill. Doctor, a more advanced skill of healing. You can heal serious damage and crippled limbs, but not poison or radiation damage. Using this skill will take a while to perform. Even crippled limb will add to the time required to use Doctor's skill. You can only use this skill 3 times a day, but you combine it with first aid. Active use. You need to pick a target to play Doctor with. That's an interesting line. They definitely did that on purpose. You need to pick a target to play Doctor with. Initial level. Starting Doctor is equal to 15% plus 1% times the average of your perception and intelligence. Average characters will have a 20% skill. Note, First Aid and Doctor are healing skills. They will be very useful to all sorts of personnel. Yeah, playing Doctor out here. Where are we at now? The last 2 skills are the scientific skills. Science, the skill of knowledge and learning. It covers computers, electronics, mechanical, and other brain-hurting tasks. Active use, but sometimes used automatically. You will need to pick a target to scientize. Science-itize. Interesting. I like that. Science-itize? I think the way I said it the first time is better. Scientize, even though that's not how it's spelled. I think scientize sounds better than science-itize. Being a medic / doctor would be a very valuable profession in the post-apocalyptic. This is why the followers made so many schools / universities. Yeah, you gotta keep people alive, for sure. For sure. Especially if they're out there fighting for you. They're basically like your war hounds. You gotta keep them healed. Because once they get out of that scrap, they become stronger. And you just build an empire. I like that. Yeah, that's why doctors are important. And especially in times like this. Repair. This is the physical use of science. Repair will let you fix things, and in a world of broken stuff, this is a good thing. Active use. You will need to find a target. Initial level, starting repair skill is equal to 20% plus 1% times intelligence. Average characters will have a 25% skill. Step number 3, choose up to 2 traits. Let's see, let me scroll down here. Okay. We're going to have to continue this tomorrow, just as we break 100 concurrent. We will be getting back into this tomorrow. I knew it wasn't going to be finished tonight. We've gone 2 straight hours. It's pretty difficult to keep reading like this at this pace. So, for now, this has been Coine. You have been you. Check out the live stream schedule on the website, www.coinecc/schedule, where we have more dope games coming up. I mean, this isn't a game right now. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. This has been the Fallout Survival Guide, and we have more of it coming up, so tune in next time. For now, this has been Coine. Deuces.